Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center. And thank you for joining me up here on the elevated platform of living, where your music and your world of magic and miracles live. It's the place where your perspective of everything is at a much higher vibration. Welcome to your world of magic and miracles. I call out to everyone as family, our family. By now, you must realize the importance of your presence as charter members of the emerging industrial innovation of magic and miracles. And as charter members with firsthand information, we cannot help but be the bearer of good news and good times that are coming via Swisindo and so much more. Our advanced intelligence is opening our vision. It is what brought you to this broadcast. And the only reason the cost has been just $1 is because Robert wanted everyone to be present. Thank you to so many of you who have contributed many times the printed cost. We will be having to increase the price because we've not been able to meet our costs of these broadcasts. It'll be fine. As managing director, I feel that I must tell you that this past Friday, October 5th, we had to cancel the show due to unforeseen circumstances. The existence of magic and miracles, however, is still very much alive as I'm having trouble reading. I don't know what's happening today, but it's fine. I'm just wanting to emphasize the fact that magic and miracles are so alive in the presence of each and every one of us and everything we do every day. And that is why today's broadcast is called New Horizons. But first, a little history in our time, where we learn what really happened, not public relations, PR, but we are family first. Why the UN has no president. A bright light of truth was turned on as I read this, and I really feel it is so important because we all know about M1 vouchers and the debt relief, but you have to know what we have come through in order to be able to give you that. So here's the story. This is why Swisindo exists. The United Nations was registered in Batavia. It's now called Jakarta. In Indonesia, the 17th of August, 1945. The name United Nations, coined by United States President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, was first used in the Declaration of the United Nations on the 1st of January, 1942, during the Second World War, when representatives of the nations pledged their governments to continue fighting together against the Axis power. The Charter of the United Nations was signed in June 26, 1945, by 50 countries. It sounds a little dry, but wait till you see what happens. The UN made its headquarters in the United States, and it was going to be in several different places, even the site where the World Trade Center was. But they decided on place next to the East River. And it officially opened in 1951. Now, why was the UN registered in Batavia, or Jakarta as we know it now? Well, I'm going to tell you. If I could see this, that's funny. All right. The first president of Indonesia was President Sukarno. And he was the first M1 that we have come to know and hear so much about. He was the founding father, and he funded the United Nations organization with an obligation certificate with a big long number to the tune of $506,502,000,000 for a period of 70 years, ending on August 17th, 2015. This answers why the mission is named United Nations Swissindo and has the right to the United Nations logo. In practice, the League of Nations came first, but they were unable to be effective in stopping World War II. Now, President Sukarno backed the UN because he had the purpose of taking the world back to basics, which is an essential foundation and moral code for all, including responsibility, truthfulness, accountability, and dignity. Diplomacy, respect, honor, compassion, non-greed, non-theft, non-endangerment, and selfless service to others. We have not been experiencing this. In 1948, the United Nations adopted back to basics in a resolution entitled the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, whereas recognition of the inherent dignity and of the equal and inalienable rights of all members of the human family are the foundation of freedom, justice, and peace in the world. Now, there are no records of President Sukarno and his involvement with the United Nations to be found in UN official or unofficial documents that show anything related to President Sukarno being the chief of the UN Council Board or the original UN registration being in Batavia. Nothing. It was just cut from the history because it didn't follow what they were planning. The critical records only show that on September 28, 1950, Indonesia became a member of the United Nations. Yeah, and then we have all the list of all the people that you've heard all their names who were the secretary generals, but no president. It is no surprise, however, when searching for truth, we find that our history books and much of the internet information is strongly altered or missing true and factual occurrences. Please, I am apologizing because my eyes are playing tricks on me right now. So bear with me, please. So I've said this before, and I say it every week because it's so true. Things are not getting worse, they're getting uncovered. And so much the better. Now, that's the story and the history of the UN. And now all the funds have been returned to the rightful owner, M1. And M1 is the grandson of President Sukarno, who was the first M1. Okay. The World Bank was established by President Sukarno in 1945 to assist and develop those countries in need after World War II. And $70 trillion has been stolen since 1961. And now with M1 at the helm, he has forgiven all the guilty countries and is insisting that they sign a peace treaty that's been planned for October, which is the month that we are in right now. So it looks like it might be November. And the refusal to sign is imprisonment and a fine of $1 trillion. So once again, we're given the opportunity to having a front row seat, taking an action if we choose, and not having to accept the media's slant. And taking an action if we choose means sending me an email like Muhammad did and say, yes, I'm interested. I'd like to become a part of Swisindo. And it is with pleasure that I can pass along to you actual happenings. Now, as promised, here is the weekly update from UN Swisindo, a clear route out of the debt slavery system that has been foisted upon us for much too long. Now, most of you on the call, I know all about Swisindo by now. And hopefully you've downloaded your M1 voucher, put your thumbprint on it, didn't sign it, and are keeping it in a safe place. There's a website with thousands and thousands of pictures of people holding their M1 vouchers. So it's kind of exciting. And they're every color, every stature, every country, all over the globe. And it's wonderful. So I'm just going to go through this quickly because there is this mandate, a human obligation to free the 7.5 billion people on the planet. And that is with the M1 voucher, the $1,200 a month for life for every adult on the planet. And then up to the age of 17, a school-age child will receive $600 a month until they are 17. Now this is amazing because I read this every week, but when you stop and realize that the money, or the gold rather, that has been stashed away in Indonesia for all these years is slated to help everyone. Not just the people, the corporations, the countries, the banks, and to support the Venus Project, which is to make every scientific improvement available for the construction of a new world. That's wonderful. And of course, this you're also going to download, and you're going to have, this is the debt relief. That's what it looks like. So don't hesitate. Download it. It's important. That's why I say it every week. And also, this is what the M1 voucher looks like. And this is where you put your picture and your thumbprint, and you attach it with Gorilla Glue, and you don't sign it. Okay? Thank you. What an amazing feeling it is to know that we are doing what we have always known to be true. Help others and bring peace and become so much more. My eyes are getting clearer. Thank you for bearing with me, because it's important for what's coming. Smile. I received a smile today, and in that moment, the world changed. I felt his whole life pass before my eyes, and I felt the connection of his origin, the place of his true being originated from. But the greatest gift was that I smiled back at him. I also felt mine. We all have a gift. We all have a song. And in that one smile, there's music. It pours out from the depths of your soul and the abundance of your heart. So the next time someone smiles at you, be prepared to go on a journey of discovery, to experience the magnificent world of an incredible being. And when you smile back at them, they will be able to experience yours. Thank you, David. As our awareness grows to match our advanced intelligence, we will see past the formula that has been put in place in our immense society, and we will simply move in such a way that we cannot be seen by those who are looking to control our lives. Where there is no agreement or opposition, there is no return signal to feed the mechanism of control and fear that are in place in the world at this moment. Each person is in control of their own world, and the changes in the physical world will greatly assist in maintaining this, even under adverse conditions. Every one of us is responsible for bringing peace and stability and harmony into the world. We are so past the point of acceptance of the existence of magic and miracles, and as such, we definitely are in a position to exercise our magic in a real way in the initial school of magic. And there is one outstanding reality that makes magic possible, and that is there are no rules, there are no methods, and everything works every time. So take this into your physical reality and apply it to everything all the time, and this includes your assessment of other people's actions and interactions. If you are determined to live a life of magic and miracles, then you must accept that nothing is wrong, because there is a miracle for every situation and a multitude of unique outcomes that can never be repeated. This is a big step for your conscious awareness, and it is evident that it will be out of tune with what you know as part of that natural operating system. Your natural operating system has been induced as part of the awareness of the human entity, and once it changes, all associated parts of the physical reality will change with it. This past Wednesday, I'm waiting for my eyes to focus and be clear. Okay, because this is extremely important, and this is what was making me so excited about seeing you today. This past Wednesday, October 4th, Robert wrote, and it is my honor to share it with you now. To break from your normal flow and proceed with the work of the future is a task that needs no input from your physical being. It is one which can only come from your advanced intelligence or your personal supercomputer. I am hoping that every one of you has in your possession this primer. I call it the primer of magic and miracles, because in it is the secret that you all have a personal supercomputer that knows beyond what we think. It is like adjusting the fuel mixture so that your engine performs correctly at higher altitudes. There is no need to modify your engine, but there is a need to modify the fuel to a much more exotic mixture so that there is a clean and efficient operation of your advanced intelligence and your personal supercomputer. The fuel that we refer to is the universal energy, sometimes referred to as life force, which comes to us each and every day from many different sources in the form of light and plasma to your exact specification. What your advanced being calls for is sometimes overridden by the influence of your physical programming, and the correct mixture is forgotten in the conversion from plasma and light to physical energy and sustenance for your body, and its complete interface with the many attributes of the world. To engage your advanced intelligence, all you need to do is stand tall and accept its presence. Your supercomputer will jump into action immediately and start to translate your acceptance as an instruction set for the operation. This is all that is needed at any time to bring new fields into your world and to open up circumstances that you never expected was possible. Simplicity is the name of the instruction set guaranteed by your personal supercomputer, and it can be recognized in your everyday life by how simple everything becomes in comparison with the complexities of so-called normal life. In so-called normal circumstances, a physical action or process is needed to generate something new, whereas your personal supercomputer reverts to the basic building block of life and builds everything from what we see as nothing. Plasma and light cannot be seen until they meet with an object or medium to indicate their presence. But they can interact and develop circumstances that have never been planned as part of your life. Acceptance of your advanced intelligence will open the door to magic and miracles and allow you to work with simplicity in every part of your life. With all this in mind, it is obvious that normal thought patterns are no longer needed to feed the programs that have been placed in your system. This means there is room for something else. There is a hesitation in your mind until you decide it is time to daydream, as you did when you were young. This is what completes the cycle and allows your whole system to run on automatic without any input from your physical consciousness. Amazing. Our dear friend in Costa Rica, Elizabeth, said of this writing, "Here is an updated app to be used by our supercomputer." It's a superb computer. This has had quite an effect on me. And I'm going to tell you a personal story of yesterday. That was our day yesterday, an ordinary Saturday, with much to be accomplished and a burden that had been carried for weeks. My 2017 tax return. The day began. We both noticed the breathtaking sunrise, and Robert said something, and I ran out the front door with my iPhone and captured the beauty of the new dawn through our beloved tree. And you can hear the breeze because there are papers flying all over the place. Within minutes, Facebook friends were liking and loving the sunrise I had just posted. The number kept increasing throughout the day. Time for choosing a photo for the invitation that you received. And of course, our photo had to usher in new horizons. By 1 o'clock, I could not believe what had been accomplished. 1 o'clock? I thought we were going to go to the dead of night. I had broken with my own normal flow and was proceeding with the work of the future. This had no input from my physical being, but rather from advanced intelligence or my own supercomputer. Robert was like the gas station attendant, making sure that the fuel mixture was just what my engine needed to perform correctly at the higher altitude we were operating in. This was a clean and efficient operation of my advanced intelligence and my supercomputer. We were operating with universal energy or life force itself. Robert offered his assistance throughout, and we both enjoyed the accomplishment in what seemed like no time at all. In fact, Robert came in later saying that this was our finest day. All I did was stand tall and accept the presence of my advanced intelligence, and my supercomputer jumped into action immediately and started to translate my acceptance as an instruction set for its operation. This was all that was needed to bring a new field into my world, which opened up the simplicity with which the taxes were completed in a very short time, and with the absence of complexities and frustration experienced in the past. And the show must go on. You have stepped into the new flow, and there is a totally new perspective of life itself waiting to welcome you to the next reality of the application of magic and miracles in the physical world. The power of each and every human entity will increase enormously in a very short period of time, and the presence of advanced intelligence will be met by the power to enable the world to rise above all negativity and develop a harmony that has never been known before. Can you read what I'm thinking? This next piece is so important. I'm even considering asking someone else to read it, but I'll do my best because it is so important. Oh, there go all the pictures. That's all right. I'll pick them up later. This is wild. Okay, it's called Over the Fence. And these papers are going to go over the fence any minute. There is a fence that you must climb over, and there are a few who are able to give you a leg up and assist you in climbing over. It is their purpose to see you reach the other side, and it is their joy to see you run ahead and do greater things than they. Once over, you are also able to assist others in your own way. This fence is heavily guarded by a created entity that goes by the name of They. They never had a face or a name, but you were introduced to its presence and influence from the moment of your birth. Every time you would get an inkling through a remembrance to start climbing the fence, you would get a visit from They, and you would quickly come back down. This is why it has been so necessary to have a few who are able to give you a leg up. Those few are not, nor ever have been affected by the influence of They. Those few can see the influence for what it truly is and are able to roam free of its false power, to limit freedom, and are able to assist others. When you hear this entity's name, it is usually followed by the word say or said. It shows up millions of times in your life, always right on cue, helping to control your direction away from going over the fence. On the other side of the fence is the world of magic and miracles, a place of freedom, harmony, love, and support, a place you know very well because it is the place you came here from. They are opposed to this place because there is no control and no fear. And where there is no control and no fear, there is no profit. So, on the one side is freedom, and on the other side, control. A subtle control that was brought here millions of years ago and amplified and validated by they. They say you should have a colonoscopy. They say you should have a yearly checkup. They say you should go to college. They say you should get married and buy a house and have kids. They say you should say thank you and please and God bless you when they sneeze. They are everywhere and in everything. And I am here to shine a spotlight on they so that it can be seen for what it truly is. A little entity holding and hiding behind a curtain, barking out orders with a megaphone and an amplifier that makes it sound and feel much bigger than it really is. Just feel, and you will remember that you are the magnificence of the magnificent. You have the courage of the courageous, the wisdom of the wise, and the heart of all hearts. Then, with a hand under your foot, lifting you up, released from the control, you climb over the fence to your true home, the world of magic and miracles. There is no place like home. There is no place like home. There is no need for you to change anything but there is a need for you to observe the change so that it may be solid in physical reality. Every person will experience this change, and each one will observe something different that will add to the matrix and develop the complex reality necessary to provide simplicity in everyone's life. Relax and enjoy the calmness of the flow as it massages your body and allows you to perform perfectly in your role in the physical world. Look ahead and listen to the future as you live a life of magic and miracles in the totally random fields of the earth and its celestial partners. The dance and the music will take you away from the troubled world and hold you there forever. And here is another gift from David. When the music starts to play, everyone comes alive. I see the joy in your face. I see the joy in your eyes. So do that robot, do that running man, do that fist roll. Be yourself, because you can. Music makes you dance so hard. Music makes you drop your guard. Music makes you make that face. It takes your soul to outer space. Music really sets you free. Dance that dance like you were 3. Make that stink face deep inside. Don't give a damn who's by your side. Music makes you rock and roll, free your mind down to your soul, sets you free from all your pain. In a crowded room, everyone's the same. Love that. There is nothing wrong. There never is. There is nothing wrong in your world where you live. In the place that's your origin, where your music is played, where your brilliance is known, and you can never be swayed. The being that you are cannot be born or die. Been fed the illusion of limitation. Now we're ready to fly. When we see the truth, we'll just sit back and laugh. There's nothing wrong. There never has It's a dance of perfection, no rehearsals required, a magnificent collection. Your experiences do inspire. From the elevated platform, it's clear to see that from the world of magic and miracles, we live in perfect harmony. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I can't tell you how important it has been. And thank you for bearing with my funny vision. But I know that you all see right past anything that could ever stop our magic and miracles. So we'll see you again on Wednesday. And each time I say this, the meaning comes through clearer and clearer. We wish you perfect life, perfect health, and a very magical future. Thank you.